so if you've been treating your to-do list like it's a life or death situation, this video is for you. If you're overanalyzing your texts, if you're spiraling out over your career, or you don't have your 10-year plan set up, babe, first of all, I need you to breathe. I've personally struggled with this for a long time, and this is something I'm still struggling with today. But I was watching my tarot reading, okay? I'm a tarot girly, and I was watching my tarot reading, and the guy said, stop taking life so seriously. Like, you're taking life way too seriously. Like, life is not meant to be that way. And something in my head clicked, and I was like, oh my God. And I started to watch as the events of my life unfolded and the way that I was treating them. And the first place that I look to is my job. I'm a server at a restaurant. And when you're a server, it is best to be funny. It is best to be unserious. It is best to make a joke. It is best to just be like, oh my God, like I forgot. I mean, depending on the table, you can't do that with every single table. But I've realized that with every single table that I had, I was so serious about everything. Like, nothing was fun, nothing was funny, nothing was a joke. Like, it was all like serious life or death. And I realized that people didn't really like me too much because I was always like so strict on everything and so serious. And after hearing this advice in my tarot reading, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna relax a little bit. Like, I'm gonna treat this like a game. Like, I'm gonna treat this like a game for the first time in my life. And when I started doing that, first of all, it alleviated so much stress off of me because nothing was like a life or death situation anymore, right? Nothing was that serious. Literally, it's just a salad. It's just a Diet Coke refill. Like, it's not a big deal. And then when I started to apply this to other areas of my life, such as how I speak to different people, how I talk to different people, even if someone says something like kind of like rude or kind of like backhanded towards me, I make it like a fun thing. Like, I put a twist on it and I make a joke out of it. And honestly, it alleviates the mood. It makes you look like a much more positive person rather than like some bitter bitch who's constantly like complaining or has like a serious attitude about everything. And it's just less stressful in general, you know? I had a manager before who she was just so serious about everything. Like, everything was serious to her. Like, absolutely everything. It's like she couldn't make a joke about anything. And I'm like, oh my God, like, you're just so miserable as a person. No offense, but she was. And then I was thinking to myself, like, where does this whole thing come from to take life so seriously? Like, we learn that somewhere. We must learn that somewhere. And I realized it's all the hustle culture bullshit that we're living in. Like, everyone's like, oh my God, you gotta like wake up at like 4 a.m, get 2 hours of sleep, eat ramen, take shit seriously, blah, blah, blah. And you guys, that's not to say that like there's some shit in life that you shouldn't take seriously, but nothing should be so stress inducing to you that it's like ruining your life when you're trying to make something work. Like, things require playfulness. Even like the serious things in life, they require some sort of playfulness with it, okay? And so I realized, I was like, this is a social media shit. This is like the perfectionism shit that we must work all the time and we must be super serious about everything because everything in life is serious. Oh my God, how miserable. How miserable. I spent my whole life living like that, and I was depressed, like literally like clinical depression. Like, I grew up thinking that burnout was somehow like a badge of honor, that it somehow makes you a better person. Now that you're taking everything so seriously, now that you're constantly working, overworking yourself, you have no energy, you're not paying attention to your diet, you're not paying attention to your sleep, you're not paying attention to your skin, your health in general, but you're burning out and you're working so hard and someone's supposed to reward you for this? Like, a lot of times you don't get awarded because nobody cares to award you for that. But even if you do get awarded, for example, at your job for working so hard and staying up late at night, at what cost are you doing that? At what cost? Is it worth it? I want you guys to really ask yourself that question. Is it worth doing that? I think a lot of this also has to do with self-worth, because I grew up thinking that my productivity level has something to do with my self-worth. Like, the more I work, the more busy I am, somehow that like makes me a better person all of a sudden. Like, somehow, like, you know, if I throw myself in deep shit and I have no sleep and I'm constantly working and I'm like killing myself over something, somehow that's supposed to make me a better person, supposedly. And I found out later on in life that it does not actually. There's actually quite a lot of people in this world who don't do a lot of work, but they make millions of dollars. And that's something that I always keep in my mind. That's not to say that hard work is not valued. That's not to say that I don't put effort and work into something, but that is to say that I watch my boundaries, okay? I have limits to things, and also nothing's ever that deep or serious to me, because when I did function like that, like I said, you guys, I was literally clinically depressed and I had huge anxiety issues, which I still have anxiety problems right now. It's really, really bad. It's just so hard to unlearn being serious about everything. I also got a lot of my anxiety from trying to control everything around me, which I want to make a separate video talking about my experience for the past 7 months and how life has really like slapped me in the face a few hundred times to make me realize that a lot of shit is out of my control. But because I was so serious about everything, I tried to control everything on top of that, and that didn't work out too well for me. That caused me a lot of stress, anxiety, and it caused me to lose a lot of people, and a lot of my relationships suffered because I tried to control other people and how they should think and what they should do and blah, 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 blah. Like with the whole control thing, one thing that I had to realize is that life is not linear. It's actually quite chaotic and messy, and you have to let it be. You have to let it be. Like your life is not going to be this whole like 10-year plan that you planned out for yourself, okay? I thought literally when I was like 17 years old, 16 years old, I thought that I had my entire life planned out. Like, like I literally had a whole blueprint of how my life was supposed to go. And the thing is that life never goes according to plan. Life never goes the way that we plan it to go, because life is so messy. Like just one little event can literally change your entire path in life. Literally, like one little thing. Maybe you met a specific person, or maybe you fell in love, or maybe something happened that like literally altered your entire life plan. And so it didn't make sense to me at one point. I was like, you know what? I've already been through that. I've been at a point where I made a 10-year plan for myself, and then I came out of it being like, well, that didn't go according to plan at all. Like it actually went like the opposite direction. Like not at all what I was planning, not at all what I was thinking, but that's just how my life unfolded. Another thing that I realized very soon is that obsessing over every single decision that you make in life, or obsessing over every single detail or how something is going in your life, is not going to make it less uncomfortable. Like all you're doing is just stressing yourself out and giving yourself anxiety, and worrying about something, just like worrying about something and stressing about something, doesn't actually change the circumstances. It actually doesn't change anything. And I think in life, it's so important that you make decisions. Like you literally just make decisions and just make the best decision that you think is the best decision, right? But don't stress over whether it's the right or wrong decision, because even if it's the wrong decision, like it's okay. Like you made a decision, you found out that that wasn't the way to go, and now next time you can make a better informed decision. But I think a lot of times we're so hung up on like, oh my God, like I don't know, like should I do this or should I do that? Like I don't know. Guys, like relax. To take this from a spiritual point of view, I do think that there are events in our life that are fated, or certain people that are fated, that are supposed to be a part of our lives, that are supposed to teach us something, that are supposed to be there for us, right? Same thing with jobs, careers, like everything that you may think of. Some things are fated in life, but a lot of things, like you have free will and you could choose to do whatever you want. And it's kind of like taking a detour, you know? It's like if you take a detour from a road, it doesn't mean that you're off path. It just means that you're taking a detour, and either way, you're gonna end up in the same exact place that you're supposed to be. And that's something that I had to learn to tell myself and remind myself quite frequently, is that I am right where I am supposed to be. Now, again, I do want to stress that this does not mean that I need to stop working hard, or I need to stop making short-term plans, or that I need to stop thinking about my future. Absolutely not. I think about those things every day. But I don't build this like super intense like 20-year plan and it has to go like this and only this way, it can only go like this. I don't do that anymore because that stressed me the fuck out. Also, since we're talking about this, let's talk about perfectionism. Okay, because a lot of times I didn't start projects, or I didn't start doing something because I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to be perfect at that, so why would I start it? And anytime I tried to start something, I tried to be very, very perfect at it. But the thing is, and this is something that I realized, being perfect is kind of boring. Or just like doing things and doing them perfectly all the time, like that's kind of boring. Like, you ever meet perfect people? Seemingly so. Like, nobody's ever perfect, but do you ever meet those people that are like good at all these things? And it's kind of like boring, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more fascinated by the people that like, they try something, they're like, fuck, that didn't work, you know, it doesn't work out for them. Like, shit goes downhill and they're like in deep shit and then they crawl out of it. That is much more interesting to me as like a third person, from like a third person point of view, to experience that and watch that happen versus a person who does everything and tries to achieve complete perfectionism and then achieves it. It's kind of like, okay, like what more is there to you? I don't know. I don't really know if that makes sense, but even like seeing those people on social media who are seemingly like perfect in their physical looks and stuff, and I'm just like, you're kind of boring. Like, I don't know. There's something about that where I'm just like, I'm kind of bored. Comment down below, let me know if that makes sense to you guys. Is that just me? Have you experienced that? Because I definitely have. But either way, perfection is not achievable and it'll just make you anxious. So even if you're not going to be perfect at something, just do it anyway, and over time you'll get better at it. Maybe you'll never be perfect at it, or maybe one day you will be perfect at it, but either way, you have to start it and you have to do it in order to find out. Don't just put off doing something just because you're not good at something or because it's not perfect. You got to start somewhere, right? Like babies, when they learn how to walk, they fall all the fucking time, but they get back up because they know they need to learn how to walk either way. And one day they achieve that. Like, you're so busy trying to be perfect, and for what? Like, you're missing the joke. Life is the joke, okay? Like, I always think about this. Like, none of this shit is permanent, and we're living it, and we're like treating it as if we have this forever, and we don't, okay? Not to get cynical on y'all, but like, yeah, we're all gonna fucking die one day. Like, this is so impermanent, and life flies by. Like, it feels like, oh, 80 years old, you know, it seems like a long time, but honestly, it's not. Like, I'm about to be 25 in like 7 months, and I just can't believe it. Like, I can't believe how fast time has flew by, and I'm like, oh my fucking god. Like, so we're not here for a long time, and none of this shit is permanent, but yet we take this shit so seriously. Everything in our lives is like this big, like, oh my god, like this is the end of me if this doesn't happen. Another thing that I'm thinking about right now is how I was trained ever since I was little that by the time I'm 25 I need to have children, and then by the time I'm 30 I need to have a house, and then by the time that I'm 40 I need to do XYZ. And it's like, where did that come from? And I think this is just such a much bigger topic that I want to make a separate video about in the future, I think. But just that whole notion of like, by a certain age, you need to complete XYZ. Like, who said that? Who said that? Like, who set those standards? Who set those rules? And why do we all have to achieve certain things by certain ages? I understand, like, for example, like for women, like childbirth and stuff, right? Like, we're on a certain clock, okay? But for other things, it's like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be a millionaire by the time you're 25, right? For a lot of people, that's actually a bad idea because they're going to be very irresponsible with their money. You know, we're young. It's not like we're like fucking financial experts, right? But it's like there's certain like timelines set for us. And I think that's so bizarre because, like, who set those rules and standards and why? Like, let's say on average the life expectancy in the US is 80 years old. Like, you got some time, right? You know, I used to like look at my parents, or I used to look at adults when I was a little girl, and I used to be like, oh my god, they like know it. They know everything and they have it all together, and that's just, oh my god, like, yeah, by the time I'm like 30 I'm gonna know everything and I'm gonna have it all together. Yeah, no. Actually, adults don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, I don't think nobody ever has it all together, doesn't know it all at any point in time. It literally just depends on what experiences you get in life. But even then, like, we die without knowing everything about life, without having it all together. Like, when does anyone have it all together? I just want to know. Like, is there any person in this world? Comment down below. Do you have it all together? I want to know. Who's having it all together? Because I'm certainly not. Like, I don't know. I don't see anyone having it all together. Like, everybody has some shit going on. Everybody's like going downhill in some way in their life, okay? Nobody's perfect. When you're in your hyper serious mode, you miss the fun. You miss the joy. You miss the smiling, the laughing, you know, the stuff that actually makes life good. And like, I'm bringing this back to anxiety because that's literally what this causes. If you just try to avoid all of that, if you try to be serious about everything, if you're constantly just like, you know, like you're going to be so fucking anxious all the time about everything. Like, you're not going to be in love with life. Like, we need to have some happy moments. We need to have some fun moments. We need to have some moments of relaxation. We need to have some moments where we're like, fuck it, and just laugh and smile and be like, you know what? This is fucking funny. Like, this, in a way, like, I've had some situations, especially for the past 7 months, that have happened happened to me where I'm like, you know, I could so easily break down and cry about this, but this is actually kind of fucking funny. Like, do you guys know what I mean? Have you ever been in those like presumably bad situations, but like they make you laugh because it's kind of funny, you know? I want you guys to remember to live right now, to live today. Because if you're too busy trying to plan someday, you're missing the point of today. This is why I realize I have a lot of anxiety issues, okay? Because I'm constantly thinking about the future that hasn't even happened yet. And I'm like thinking about all these scenarios that could happen, but they haven't happened yet, but they could happen. And my brain is just like making some stuff up and I'm like, stop. Like I'm literally missing the beauty of today. I am missing what's right in front of me. And I don't realize it until I am in the future. I'm living in the future and I look back and I'm like, damn, like I really should have appreciated that more. I really should have been more grateful for that. I really should have enjoyed my present time more. I was too concentrated on what's going to happen next, what's in the future, what's tomorrow, what's in 2 weeks, what's in 2 months, what's someday. And I miss the beauty of today. It's like, stop and smell the roses a little bit, you know? Like, it's okay. It's okay to take a little bit of like a breather and just look around you and be like, damn, like, this is actually pretty good. And find things to be grateful about. I used to, honestly, you guys, I'm going to be so fucking for real with you. I used to hate the whole topic of gratitude because it never made sense to me. I'm like, why the fuck would I sit there and like be like, I am grateful for this glass of water right here because it's able to hold my water. Like, I was like, this is some dumb shit. And I never really realized what the fuck the point of being grateful is until I was in such a shitty situation in my life that I'm like, oh, so this is what this is. So this is why I'm supposed to be grateful for things. Because when you are grateful for things, you are actually acknowledging that everything that you have done up until this point has gotten you here, has gotten you this. And like, it's even like the small stuff, right? Like, even if you were able to afford the newest phone, or if you have a stack of books, right? You just bought a new book, you bought new makeup, you bought a new computer, you have great friends around you. Like, that is something to be grateful for. And that is something that's like a little small win. And to me, I view it as like a small win. It's like, oh, everything I've done in the past up until this point, like, this is where it led me. This is what it got me. Like, I'm so happy that I have this right now. So how do you loosen the hell up? Okay, let's loosen up a little bit because we can't keep living like this. No, this is not fun. Okay, but actually, like I said, laughing at shit, I think that has been so helpful to me. I literally just like laugh at a bunch of shit. Like some shit happens and I'm like, that's fucking funny. Like, and I just laugh literally out loud and it makes me feel happy. Like, it actually makes me feel happy. Even if it's a shit situation, like just laughing about it makes me feel so much better. I trust myself to make decisions, and whether those decisions are right or wrong, I give myself the permission to screw up and be lovable and be flawed. And that's perfectly imperfect in that sense. I don't want to be a person who does everything perfectly. There's no fun in that. There's no character growth in that. That's not something that teaches you resilience. So I learned to embrace my faults. I learned to embrace my screw ups because I learned from them. And I'm like, okay, so that didn't work. Well, let's try it again, or let's try to do it differently because that didn't work. So something else will. I give myself some time to take breaks. Okay. So if my body is telling me that I need to take a nap, I will go and take a fucking nap. If I feel like I need a day off just to clear my head, I will. If I feel like I need to go out in the sun and take a small walk and just listen to a podcast, listen to some music, or just even sit outside just in silence with no phone, with just nature, I will do that. I will do whatever is necessary. And I don't need to constantly be operating like a fucking robot, right? Like, not everything needs to be optimized in my life to the fullest potential, because that is the quickest way that you will burn yourself out when you don't even have the time to just be yourself and be a fucking human being. You're constantly work, do, plan. And then you miss everything that's right in front of you and life ends up passing you by. And another way I loosen up is just by doing dumb stuff. I go out and I have fun, you guys. Honestly, like, this is so the opposite of what my parents have taught me. This is so the opposite of like my culture and where I come from. But I just go and I do dumb shit, and there's no ROI required sometimes for these things, right? Like, sometimes I just want to go and have fun, let loose, be stupid, be dumb, be funny, say something dumb, say something funny, and that's okay. Like, not everything needs to be a return on investment. Not everything needs to come back to me. Like, some things are just meant to be fun just for fun. A good example of this is like dumb jokes that I tell to my coworkers that could so easily embarrass me. And honestly, the way that my coworkers have reacted to me, they were like even today, oh my gosh, you guys, I was at work today and I made like a dumbass joke with my coworker and he was just kind of like, I thought it was so fucking funny. Like, it's just like dumb shit like that I do that I'm like, this is what makes life life. Yesterday I was making crepes in the kitchen and I was playing music and I was just dancing. I was just letting my soul free and it was the best thing ever. Remember to treat the situations in your life like you would treat a friend that's coming over to your house, right? Like you would entertain them for a few hours and then they would leave. And that's exactly how life is. You know, all these events happen, whether they're good or bad, but be there to entertain them because you know that one day they will leave and they won't be there anymore. And that's how I like to treat my life. Like nothing's ever that deep or serious. And ever since I started to implement this mindset, I just became so much healthier with my mental health because I was no longer experiencing severe anxiety. So don't worry, that thing you said back in 2018 is not going to ruin your future. You guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.